Hey friend, welcome to Finding Life. My name is Brian Bell. I'm so glad you're here. Shout out to my friend Robert. I see you, buddy. I know you're there. I appreciate your support. I got to shout out Robert this morning because one of the things I'm going to talk about is being an encourager. And Robert is one of the best. I did my first sermon back in November, just before Thanksgiving. And if you go back, I do have that video posted on my channel also. If you go back and watch that video, you can hear Robert out in the crowd saying, "Let's go, Brian." So Robert being one of my yeah, there he is right there. Let's go. Let's see if I can show this comment. Robert, my first viewer to my live stream, and then now today he's my first commenter. There's a way that I can show that on the screen, but I haven't figured that out yet. I'll have to work on that. Let's see. But anyway, yeah, so one of the things I wanted to talk about today was being an encourager. And Robert, man, being my first live stream viewer, being my first commenter, saying, "Let's go, Brian," when I was getting up to preach for my very first time. Shout out to you, buddy. Back in late last year, I went to a conference in Tennessee, had the opportunity to meet this guy, Jeff Henderson. Heard him speak. He was very good. This book here, Know What You're For, a growth strategy for work, an even better strategy for life. And one of the things he says here, I want to read a little bit of this. He says, Jeff, was a pastor of a church, entrepreneur, writer, author. He used to be the head of marketing for Chick-fil-A. And so in this book, he talks a lot about Truett Cathy, the owner of Chick-fil-A. One of the things he says here, he says, "One of the many lessons Truett Cathy taught me was the international sign if someone needs encouraging. This breaks through all cultural and geographical boundaries. Knowing this sign can help you in all areas of life. The international sign to know if someone needs encouraging," Truett said, "is if they're breathing. If they're breathing, they need encouraging." And I believe that to be true. He talks about over here, the next page says, "I'm convinced we need more CEOs, Chief Encouragement Officers. And here's why. Encouragement is never small when you're on the receiving end of it." I want to share a couple more things about this book too. This book is really good. It really talks about the things on here. He talks about is, the basis for the whole book is these two questions. What do you want to be known for? And what are you known for? And when we take those two questions, the closer we bring those answers together, the better off we are, the more successful we are. What do you want to be known for? And what are you known for? And what he talks about is being for others, to be for others greater than being for ourselves. And one of the examples that he put in his book that I thought was awesome was when they started the church in Gwinnett County down in Georgia. I believe this is in Georgia. So another shout out to Robert. When they built their church, when they were getting ready to build their new church, it says the city officials said we should post a sign saying coming soon in January 2015. But Jeff, he doesn't want to do marketing. They don't want to promote themselves. They want to promote others. And so they wanted to convey the message that we're building this for the community. So instead of putting a sign up, a billboard up that says coming soon Gwinnett Church, they put a sign up that says for Gwinnett. And you can see here, they said a remarkable thing happened. Let me get my book here. They said people started stopping and taking selfies and posting online, hashtag for Gwinnett. They were building community before the church was even built. And he said they would get, he said, let's see. He said occasionally someone would ask, how are they going to know what's being built? How will they know it's a church? And he said, exactly. We wanted to create a conversation with the community. He said they received tweets like this. Does anyone know what's going on at Peachtree Industrial Boulevard? Hashtag for Gwinnett. And we would retweet this and simply respond by saying, we do, smiley face. So they were, and he talked about, like, he wanted to do this because he wanted people to know that they were for the community. And so that's his message. Being know what you're for. Know what you're for. Another thing he wrote in here, he signed my book. There's his autograph. He wrote 8:31. If you can guess what Romans 8:31 says, it says, "If God is for you, who can be against you?" All right. That's that. Today is Wednesday, February 8, 2023. We have 365 days in this year. Today is day number 39. 39. Day number 39 of 365. I was thinking about age this morning. I don't know if you can tell. Give myself a haircut last night. This skill runs in my family. I've been cutting my own hair since COVID-19 started, and most of the time when I tell people I cut my own hair, I've been cutting my own hair since COVID. They don't really say much, so I don't know if that's saying that, like, yeah, we can tell. But anyway, my mom cuts hair. Her dad cut hair. 2 of my aunts cut hair. Now my 18-year-old daughter in Tennessee is in school, in cosmetology school, and she's cutting hair, so it does run in my family. But one thing I want to talk about age is one of my mom's customers. She said she was an elderly lady, maybe like in her 80s or something. And she told my mom how as we get older, our bodies age, but on the inside, we really feel the same. And I feel that. Like, I'm 51 years old now. We moved out here to help start this church. Most of the people that we're around, I'm old enough to be their parents. As a matter of fact, never in my life have I been asked more since I've been here if I was someone's dad. Like, we were down at Laguna Beach at Top of the World, and some guy asked me if I was Kelly Mueller's dad. And then I've had people ask me if I was Delaney's dad. And so it's crazy. But another thing about days here, the average life expectancy dropped in 2022. For men, from 74 to 73. And from women to 80 to 79. They say it's due to COVID, but just think about this. Like, for me, the average life expectancy for a male is 73 years, and I've in my 51st year already. 70%. That's if I live to my life expectancy, which there's no guarantee. I could die today. And so, but if I were to live to my life expectancy, I'm already 70% through my life. For that life expectancy, 26,645 days. I've already lived 18,615. Let's make the day count, right? One of the things I want to do is just help us to be mindful. You know, we're not going to be here forever. Let's live with intention, right? And that's what we're doing here. All right, so one of the things we're going to do is share the word. I believe the word is foundational to life, foundational to finding life. I believe once we get this in place, we can build everything else on top of it. All the practical ways of finding life, which is like mindset, self-discipline, perspective, so I already said self-discipline, but this is foundation, and then we build everything else on top of it. So I just want to share some word today, do a little reading. I'm not sure, I don't know. I'm going to continue to evolve and change as we go throughout the year here, but here's today's word. This is in Matthew, and it's good word. It's always good word, right? But when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit upon his glorious throne. All the nations will be gathered in his presence, and he will separate the people as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats. That's the right one. He will place the sheep at his right hand and the goats at his left. This reminds me, I know not everybody loves Jordan Peterson, but I like Jordan Peterson. I think he's super smart. And if you see him, we saw him in person on my birthday, January 22nd. And first time I had seen him wearing this red and blue coat. I'd never seen that before. I'd never seen him. And then afterwards, I looked him up on Instagram. I'm not on social media that much, but I looked him up and saw like some recent posts of him in his jacket, and actually saw that I had liked one of his pictures where he was like holding his coat open, showing the inside red and blue. And he talked about one side being sheep and one side representing goats. And so there it is. Then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you fed me. I was thirsty, and you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me into your home. I was naked, and you gave me clothing. I was sick, and you cared for me. I was in prison, and you visited me. Then these righteous ones will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink, or a stranger and show you hospitality, or naked and give you clothing? When did we ever see you sick or in prison and visit you? And the king will say, I tell you the truth, when you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were doing it to me. Then the king will turn to those on the left and say, away with you, you cursed ones, into the eternal fire, prepared for the devil and his demons. For I was hungry, and you didn't feed me. I was thirsty, and you didn't give me a drink. I was a stranger, and you didn't invite me into your home. I was naked, and you didn't give me clothing. I was sick and in prison, and you didn't visit me. Then they will reply, Lord, when did we ever see you hungry or thirsty or a stranger or naked or sick or in prison and not help you? And he will answer, I tell you the truth, when you refused to help the least of these, my brothers and sisters, you were refusing to help me. And they will go away into eternal punishment, but the righteous will go into eternal life. When Jesus had finished saying all these things, he said to his disciples, as you know, Passover begins in 2 days, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified. At that time, the leading priests and elders were meeting at the residence of Caiaphas, the high priest, plotting how to capture Jesus secretly and kill him. But not during the Passover celebration, they agreed, or the people may riot. Meanwhile, Jesus was in Bethany at the home of Simon, a man who had previously had leprosy. While he was eating, a woman came in with a beautiful alabaster jar of expensive perfume and poured it over his head. The disciples were indignant when they saw this. What a waste of money, they said. It could have been sold for a high price and the money given to the poor. But Jesus, aware of this, replied, why criticize this woman for doing such a good thing to me? You will always have the poor among you, but you will not always have me. She has poured this perfume on me to prepare my body for burial. I tell you the truth, wherever the good news is preached throughout the world, this woman's deed will be remembered and discussed. And there we are, somewhat remembering and discussing it today, 2,000 years later. Today's psalm. Have mercy on me, Lord, for I am in distress. Tears blur my eyes. My body and soul are withering away. I am dying from grief. My years are shortened by sadness. Sin has drained my strength. I am wasting away from within. I am scorned by all my enemies and despised by my neighbors. Even my friends are afraid to come near me. When they see me on the street, they run the other way. I am ignored as if I were dead, as if I were a broken pot. I have heard the many rumors about me, and I am surrounded by terror. My enemies conspire against me, plotting to take my life. Let me get a sip of coffee here. But I am trusting you, O Lord, saying you are my God. My future is in your hands. Rescue me from those who hunt me down relentlessly. Let your favor shine on your servant. In your unfailing love, rescue me. Don't let me be disgraced, O Lord, for I call out to you for help. Let the wicked be disgraced. Let them lie silent in the grave. Silence their lying lips, those proud and arrogant lips that accuse the godly. Proverbs. By the way, Proverbs 8:35, wisdom says, whoever finds me finds life. And we're getting close to that. Today's Proverbs is 8, 12, and 13, so that verse is coming up soon. Today says, I, wisdom, live together with good judgment. I know where to discover knowledge and discernment. All who fear the Lord will hate evil. Therefore, I hate pride and arrogance, corruption and perverse speech. Man, one thing about sin, it's like we can't avoid it. And just like right there, I mentioned pride. Even if we think we're doing good because we're not doing something blatantly bad, We just had pride and we just sinned. So we can't get around it. We're all in that boat together. All right, that's it for today. It's Wednesday, February 8th. I'm living my dream. I'm doing what I feel called to do. What are you called to do? Find that and let's go. All right, Robert, thank you for being here, buddy. I appreciate you. Until tomorrow, have a great day and make it count. Hey friend, thanks for watching my video or listening to my podcast. Again, I'm so glad you're here. If you would like more information about finding life, please be sure to subscribe. Don't forget about my free PDF download, The Top 3 Keys to Finding Life, which also includes the one decision that completely changed everything for me and can for you too. I'll have a link to it below. If you would like to help me help others find life, please be sure to give me a like, leave me a comment, a review, share with your family and friends. Any activity I get helps me help others find life. Lastly, don't forget to let me know how I can help you. What challenges are you facing? What are you struggling with? Let me know how I can help you specifically. Leave me a comment, send me an email, or set up a call with me. Until next time, let me leave you with this. There is a common thread that connects us all, and there is more to life than meets the eye. If you have ever felt like there has to be something more to life, you're on the right track. Keep moving forward.
Yeah.